Did I tell you that I did 4 whole pull-ups on a tree branch today?
No. And I don't believe you because you didn't tweet or Instagram about it. When things happen in real life, I believe that they really occurred only if they are talked about on machines where real-life things do not take place.
I completely agree. I should totally tweet about the new Machinist Rocky 4 Fakum diet workout that I have cooked up since getting back from Williamsburg last weekend. I realized that I need to drop 20 pounds to balance out my skinny jean legs to close-fitting V-neck t-shirt wearing midsection but still have mangun biceps.
So basically Adam from the Showgirls, but more Brooklyn and less beefy, and maybe less creepy. By the way, I can't believe you like that show. I saw that Bill Simmons had Lena Dunham on his podcast, and I decided right then and there that he should be sent directly to Hades. I really hate his nasally voice too.
I agree about the voice, but disagree about the show. It is blowing up the internet and HBO and probably the small hamlet of Brooklyn, New York. Like you, after watching the first episode I felt icky and thought this news situation comedy of sorts completely insisted upon itself in the most obnoxious of ways. When I asked everyone about it, all I heard was lots and lots of praise, so I watched a few more and the show seems to be settling in, not so much insisting.
I am 100% sure I'll kill myself if I listen to that podcast.
Well, besides Simmons gushing over Lena Dunham and seemingly wanting to leave his wife for her, it's quite a good listen. I'm interested in how people actually bring their creative ideas into the light of day and why they become popular to a certain sect of society. Some admire Dunham for her fearlessness, especially getting naked so much while possessing a body that is not thought of as a gold standard by our society. But certain fears depend on the individual, and even she says that is not one of them. Personally for me, it would be. Acting is a very odd thing too, a very weird state of the mind to be in. There is so much to think about, yet you have to look like you are someone else not thinking about any of it.
I have not acted before, but that does not mean that my innate opinions about certain kinds of creativity don't matter. I recognize my own impulses against this sort of thing without giving it a chance, but the self-indulgent nature of the show just seems to bludgeon my being with every second that goes by. And yes, I understand that shows can settle in as they go on, but the thought that sticks directly in my craw is that if I let myself like this show in the remotest of ways, then I will feel as though my taste in all things will not make sense. It's the idea that if I like one thing, how can I possibly like this other thing?
But that is one of my favorite things about life. Lots and lots of contrast existing in one human being. All art has a degree of self-indulgence. If it didn't, it would not express a shred of authenticity from whatever unique mind created it.
I understand that, and that is why balance is so important when presenting a finished work.
Balance is the goal, of course, but sometimes you don't get there, or you think you do but others think you did not. What is the responsibility of an artist? I think when entering the creative process, the awareness of the blurred line between good clever and bad clever can instill fear and almost paralyze the one doing the creating. But if they get through it and finish whatever they set out to do, they still have more to face through presenting the finished product to other human beings. If viewed as bad, this reflects on the creator. They are thought to not know bad from good because if they presented something they thought was great but wasn't, how can we trust them to do something good in the future? But art is subjective, and I believe there are so many niches in the fabric of any piece of art where bits of success and bits of failure can exist together in a harmonious and enlightening way. I think you do the best you can. You take that risk. You take that leap, and you keep on repeating it for the rest of your life. And what I mainly glean from the Showgirls is that it's just about an intelligent but confused young female college graduate who is trying to figure it all out while traversing the ethically ambiguous yet creatively bumpy terrain of a pseudo-open environment. Not a news story, of course, but everyone has their own version of that experience, and then some try to express through different forms of narrative. Some get noticed. Some don't. The show is not the most original thing ever, but it is personal and it contains shreds of universal truth.
I'm not saying I do not agree. It's just that I totally disagree, and that is probably due to experiencing the Brooklyn lifestyle and the post-collegiate people who exist every day in it and not being all that impressed. That is the main difference, I guess, but to reiterate, I do understand some of your outrageously long points about the fear of taking risks and the fear of human beings whose opinions and behavior can cause us to shrink from being courageous enough to find our true selves. But with that said, I would rather watch a Martin marathon than never watch another episode of Girls. I'd even rather read the new graphic novel written by Meatwad of the show Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That might be the funniest, most incoherent thing ever created by an unreal being.
That's a wonderful thing. Someone was brave enough to create a fictional character that is so dumb and void of logic that the idea of this character being scared of any sort of judgment in any way is not even a remote thought in his meat-filled mind. A Ball of Meat wrote a graphic novel. Now that I think about it, I have no clue if we are all evolving or doing the opposite.
The only true way we will actually know is if the character of Master Shake shows up on the second season of Girls as Alison Williams' character playing Self's new lover. Then and only then will I start watching it.
Master Shake is a pseudo-hipster in Williamsburg. Imagining he and Adam on the same show might make it the best TV experience in the history of 2013. Time to grab our skinny yachts, form-fitting Barney's t-shirts, top-sitters and beardly beards and grab the L train to destiny.
Sounds like a plan. Can Meatwad come too?
Yes, but only if he gives The Dark Knight Rises glowing reviews and nominates Lena Dunham for even more Emmys than she was nominated for today.
I hate you so much now. I hope you keep doing your tree branch pull-ups, but in Hades and with Bill Simmons counting loudly in his nasally voice.
Good. Sounds like heaven to me.